We're back on NFL Live talking NFC North, which is a loaded division. Put 3 teams in the playoffs last year, and all 4 teams have high hopes for this year. So let's run through it, starting in Green Bay. One of the Packers' goals is going to be to play better against the top competition in the NFC. Last year, Green Bay was 0-6 against the top 3 teams in the NFC and 11-1 against everyone else in the league. Jordan Love had no touchdowns and 3 interceptions in the season-ending playoff loss to the eventual Super Bowl champion Eagles. Green Bay putting up a season-low 10 points in that wild card game defeat. So Rob Domofsky, who covers the Packers for us, is here. Rob, Jordan Love looked like maybe took something of a step back last year, according to the numbers we're looking at least. What are the Packers saying about where he is in his development?
Well, I'll tell you what, Dan. Don't tell Jordan Love he took a step back without being prepared to back it up. And that's noteworthy because he never challenges anything. But for the first time since he's been in Green Bay, including the 2 years that he's been a starter, he fought back on that idea this offseason. And he said, what is a step back? I mean, we won more games than we did the year before. So I ask you, what is a step back? But Matt LaFleur, his coach, knows that it's out there. He even said there is this perception for whatever reason that he wasn't as productive. The reason might have been, according to LaFleur, that he had that knee injury in week 2, but he had a lot of time to recover from that, and he was only so-so for the rest of the way. Now, this is year 3 for him as a starter, and we all know what Aaron Rodgers did in year 3, right? Super Bowl.
Yeah. Booger?
Yeah, I don't know if when we talk about a step back, I think we need to talk about the step forward because that's where he needs to go. Because he's been given his money. They continue to go out and surround him with weapons. They took Matthew Golden from Texas in the first round, who ran 4.29, so a lot of speed. You're going to get Christian Watson back at some point. They got a plethora of wide receivers. So at what point, if you're Jordan Love, can you continue to take that next step? Matt LaFleur, one of the better play callers in the National Football League. So if I were him, I wouldn't be concerned about a step back. How can you continue to take the step forward? Because that's where your pace says you need to be, and that's where the team says you need to be in order for them to take the next step.
It's worth noting the Packers had the youngest roster in the league last year with an average age under 26. He's the mayor, Rob Domofsky. We're going to go to Minnesota now. The runway is clear for J.J. McCarthy to finally see some regular season action after he missed his entire rookie season with a torn meniscus sustained in last year's preseason. McCarthy, just the 4th top 10 quarterback this century who didn't make any starts at all as a rookie, and the first one of those in 13 years. We are joined now by Ben Solak and our Vikings reporter, Kevin Seifert, covering all things Vikings. Excuse me. Kevin, the story of the Vikings offseason is the change under center. Sam Darnold off to Seattle. J.J. McCarthy taking over. What are you seeing on the ground there?
2 things, arm strength and personal magnetism. To the extent that people thought that J.J. McCarthy's arm strength was not up to par, from what they saw at Michigan. I know there was some pre-draft analysis that suggested that. I did not see that during minicamp, during OTAs. The ball was being delivered on time, with strength, with velocity. And just don't take my word for it. Asking Justin Jefferson about it, who I think is kind of more important than my take, he said if he had one thing that he learned about J.J. McCarthy this offseason, it was that his arm strength is plenty good and will get him the ball wherever he needs it. If anything, he needs to slow the ball down a little bit and put some more touch on it. And the personal magnetism thing, J.J. McCarthy is somebody who I think we found out that people want to be around, they want to talk to, they want to be led by, they want to entrust the team to. People in Michigan probably know that already and that watched his career there. But I think that already has taken place in the Vikings locker room. And again, don't take it from me. Harrison Smith, their 36-year-old safety, who's a decade and a half older than J.J. McCarthy. They have lockers right next to each other in the locker room. And he said that he is a very interesting fellow, and he likes spending time with him. And if you pass the Harrison Smith test in the Vikings locker room, you're doing okay.
Yeah, having the traits is great for the rookie, but we talk about young quarterbacks. Destination is destiny, right? A lot of it is that landing spot where you grow. And we know the Vikings are about as QB-proof as it gets in the NFL. You have Justin Jefferson, best receiver in football, Jordan Addison and T.J. Hawkinson as the secondary options. But what interests me is the fact that they really want to run the ball this year. You go back to that Michigan offense that J.J. played, and Kevin O'Connell talking this offseason, we need to be better on early downs. And that's the proof of the pudding is in their offseason, right? A whole new interior guard to guard. Donovan Jackson, Ryan Kelly, Will Fries. We're going to run the football. Trade for Jordan Mason. This team last year was second in pass rate over expectation with Sam Darnold. They threw the ball a ton, and for a rookie quarterback, you don't want to put him in those third and longs where he's going to get those big blitzes. So they're going to, I think, run the football a lot more and keep the plate for J.J. small at first and then grow as the season goes on.
He'll try to keep it on track. Vikings won 14 games last year, second most in a season in their franchise history. That's Minnesota. We head to Detroit now. Not unprecedented to have success after losing coordinators on both sides of the ball. Each of the last 3 teams to be in that position won double-digit games on their way to playoff appearances. So Detroit looking to do more than just make a playoff appearance. They're looking for a deeper run. The coordinator change is going to affect the Bears as well, as Detroit's offensive coordinator was Ben Johnson, who's now the head coach of the Bears. And to talk about all of that, we have our Lions reporter, Eric Woodyard, and our Bears reporter, Courtney Cronin, with us now. So, Eric, what's the feeling in New York after losing both coordinators? How are they moving forward?
They're moving forward like it's winning a Super Bowl right now. I mean, Dan Campbell and these guys, although they lost both coordinators, they feel like the DNA has been built. Although Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson have gone, they feel like they're bringing in guys that they're familiar with Kelvin Shepard. They brought in John Morton as well, an offensive coordinator, and they feel like they can win right now. I feel like the nucleus is built. You know, that's what Dan Campbell's mentality, this nucleus is built. And they're also healthy as well. They're feeling fairly healthy coming into the year. Aiden Hutchinson obviously was a front runner for Defensive Player of the Year last year. He's cleared to go. He's ready to go. I also spoke with Amon-Ra St. Brown. He had an off-season knee surgery, and he's feeling like he said he's ready to go. He should be ready to go for day one of camp. And guys are just ready to go. They're locked in, and it's Super Bowl or not. That's how they feel.
Yeah, last season ended a lot earlier than the Lions wanted it to, and they'll have to make do without offensive coordinator Ben Johnson, who's now the head coach of the team you covered, Courtney. What is Ben Johnson doing to help second-year quarterback Caleb Williams in his development?
Well, they tried to spend the spring finding out Caleb's weaknesses and his strengths. There are a number of different ways they did that. They would give him long play calls. They would give him multiple plays at the line of scrimmage. They would go tempo. And there was a specific emphasis placed on the red zone offense, the type of throws that they want Caleb to make in a condensed window. Front pylon, back line, front line, all of it in a tight area. And Ben Johnson noting that creating an efficient red zone offense takes a whole ton of time. So that's why they wanted to have a lot of work done there during the spring. And there's about 1 or 2 throws from every practice that Johnson said stood out to him about Williams. And the thing that he knew coming into this job is what makes Caleb so special, the ability to create out of structure and make this offense right when a play breaks down.
I want to bring in our quarterback now, Tim Hasselbeck. What does Ben Johnson mean to a young quarterback?
Yeah, he comes in with instant credibility in terms of what he did in Detroit, the creativity, what he's done for Jared Goff in his career. And so I think that right off the bat, establishes trust. But I think we're going to see him do things to make Caleb Williams a little bit more of a traditional quarterback, playing under center, finding ways to get easy completions, some move the pocket type stuff. And then, the stuff we all talk about, the kind of the icing on the cake is the creativity, and the timing of calling those plays. So I think that's, kind of what he brings to the table, especially as a play caller in game. And I think it'll take some time to see it, but I think it'll be felt immediately by Caleb Williams and the guys on that offense.
NFC North going to be wild this year, no doubt about it, thanks to all 4 of the stars we have covering the division for us at ESPN NFL Nation.